chains, juke my muscle off, and I'm coming your way. Don't care what you think of me. With this fantasy, yeah, I'll be what I be. There's nothing you can say that's gonna change me. Whoa, 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 walking free. Whoa, 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 walking free. 'Cause I'm walking free. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Welcome, race fans, to the legendary Myrtle Beach Speedway for race number 2 of the Phillips Wraps and Graphics Late Model Tour presented by Slingshot Racing League. I am Johnny Rapp, and as always, I am joined in the Slingshot TV booth tonight by James Moore and Justin Wilson. Originally opening in 1958 as Ramby Raceway, Myrtle Beach Speedway was one of the great short tracks of the Southeast. Spanning just over a half mile with 13-degree banking, the D-shaped oval had become renowned for its abrasive surface, truly testing the abilities of both man and machine. From its early days as a dirt track until its closure in 2020, Myrtle Beach Speedway has been a proving ground for many of the NASCAR greats and many other short track legends. The Myrtle Beach 400 was a staple for the late model racing community for decades, and the legacy lives on with Florence Motor Speedway now hosting the race under the South Carolina 400 moniker. The Bash at Myrtle Beach 110 is sure to be an action-packed bumper-to-bumper duel right down to the end. 110 laps are on the board, one extra set of tires, no fast repairs for our drivers tonight. It's going to take grit, patience, and determination to bring home that checkered flag. But before we set the grid, it is time to head trackside for everybody's favorite pre-race tradition, the playing of the national anthem. Alright, back here live from Myrtle Beach Speedway as we're ready to get the heats underway. Qualifying is wrapping up as we speak, and yeah, this is going to be an exciting race. We got a lot of cars out here tonight, a lot of good contenders, and yeah, coming off the race last week, it's going to be very interesting to see how everything pans out. But we're going to head trackside now for the pre-race grid here for the heat race, and once we get this up, looks like everybody is lining up right now. We'll take a look at our starting lineup. It's like only 6 cars in this heat, starting out with Ryan Bittler in that number 9, starting up front with Blaze Richardson, newcomer to the league, starting in second in that number 18. Then we have Brian Brobson in number 11, starting in third with Devin Jack in the number 49 in fourth. And then Jacob Phillips in that number 56. Last week's winner is going to be starting 5th in the heat with Patrick O'Toole starting in 6th.
And for those wondering why there's only 6 cars in this heat race, well, keep in mind, we're doing things a little bit different this time. So top 14 is just automatically going to qualify into the race. So the remaining of from 15th on will be doing a little heat race here to kind of show, have the grid for those final spots. Now, if we do have multiple, like tons and tons and tons of drivers show up, which we hope for each and every week, right? Only a select few will make the feature, but for tonight's sake, we are all squared away. All drivers will make the field, but gives those guys that are going to be starting towards the back of the field a little bit of an extra advantage.
Yeah, starting position is going to be really big here tonight at Myrtle Beach. Although they're already going to be at the back, the less far back you are, the better.
Yeah, and the advantage they get is they get a couple of laps under green here, 10 laps to be exact, to kind of fine-tune their driving style, their kind of little setup, if you may. But I am curious to see last week's winner of Jacob Phillips going to be rolling off 5th here. Did not put down a qualifying time, so a little bit of strategy maybe from this 56 machine.
I mean, I really don't know. I don't know what the logic there is. Maybe he just maybe he was busy in the porta potty, couldn't find time to get to the car to put down a qualifying lap. Happens to the best of us, I know, but I'm sure he'll take the extra track time and try to march his way forward with a little bit of caution, luck, a little bit of heads-up racing.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye out because that driver also did not take the grid here for this heat race, so maybe some mechanical failures early on here, but we'll see if he's able to make it to the feature. But in the meantime, we do have Ryan Bittler going to be rolling this thing off from the first starting position with Blaze Richardson, newcomer, was not here last week. Good to see him here this week. That sharp-looking number 18, Devin Jackson, way back here in 4th place. Also a very fast driver that we seen last week. He's going to have, he's got a challenge ahead of him tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to get that repeat podium there for Devin Jack. Sorry, Robert Brobes. Where is my hat out for Devin Jack there? Hopefully he's up for the challenge. We know it'll be exciting to watch. Devin's one of those guys that can definitely carve his way through this field.
Yeah, Mercenary in the chat said, I think Jacob's AFK. Well, he picked a horrible time to be AFK. Missed qualifying, missed the start of the heat race. So hopefully he makes it back in time for the feature tonight. But pace car is rolling off for tonight's 4-car feature. Excuse me, 5-car feature. I got Patrick O'Toole back there. I missed him. Ryan Bittler, as he enters the restart zone, green flag is out, and he gets a heck of a jump right off the start with Blaze Richardson going to tuck in behind him.
Yeah, Blaze Richardson there is going to run the top. He's got the 11 to his inside. Going to clear him off at turn 2 as Devin Jack looks to get by the 18 as well. Definitely not the start the 18 car was looking for here. Out of turn 4, give the lead to Ryan Bittler, still starting to build up a little bit of a gap. Not a long race here, only 10 laps. Got to get a move on if you want to move forward, as we see the 18 car here starting to look like he might have a little bit of pace. Maybe he just got caught sleeping on that start there. We got a battle for the lead here.
Yeah, Brian Brobes kind of threw a nose down in there into 3 and 4, like he was going to try to maybe give him a bump, and now he's looking. Ryan Bittler has no choice but to give him the inside line. Probably gave him a little bit too much the inside line. See if he's able to get the runoff. He is not. So a little bit of lessons learned as well. A little bit of lessons learned too. So these drivers that may not be in this heat race from this that qualified through, they're going to be watching this race, seeing what these lines that these drivers are able to run. They probably see that Ryan up high, always a little bit loose, almost past the wall.
Almost.
But one thing you notice is that the outside line just doesn't have the momentum like we see at other tracks. So this may just be whoever can. Basically, you're just going to fight for that inside line like you love to see at short track.
Yeah, I really think that's going to be the case all night as we see Devin Jack and Ryan Bittler, Devin Jack and Blaze Richardson side by side here. Devin's trying to make that bottom work like we've been seeing everyone else do. Hope a little bit stronger on the outside there is Richardson, a little bit better, but once again, it's just, I don't think that top's going to work for you here tonight.
Oh, Devin Jack kisses the wall a little bit there, and then
moves
gets
him.
shot.
Aggressive goes around, in the words of Rick Allen, as they are parked in turn 3 and 4. Definitely having a little bit of a conversation there. Devin Jack's going to get the 49 machine spun back around, back going. Only 4 cars on the track at the moment. Patrick O'Toole pulled down pit road a few laps ago. Not sure what's going on there, but let's take a look back, see what we saw here, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like, let's see, 18 was up wide. Set it back down. I think he just got in hot, or maybe he wasn't happy with Devin Jack, because I don't think Devin Jack did anything different than he has the previous laps. But yeah, he got tagged hard there.
Yeah, great job from the number 9 of Ryan Bittler to kind of scoop down to the inside there. Missed that wreck, but yeah, we're going to go on board one more time here with Devin Jack. And see just that closing rate entering the corner, definitely a little suspicious. And but man, you know how these short track races can go.
Yeah. Under caution now, running now, waiting until we get back going. We've got Blaze Richardson in the check apologizing for that move to Devin Jack. Good to hear.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of a misjudgment for the corner entry speed there, but not a lot of damage, and it's only the heat, so all these drivers will live to fight another day. And yeah, we're going to re-rack them with just a handful of laps to go. Right now, Brian Brooks is going to be your leader in that number 11 car. With Ryan Bittler getting through that wreck, is going to be back up to second place.
Also, Johnny, I was just informed we need to tell the DJ to stop playing the music.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a great song, you know. We're just vibing here in the in the heat race, but yeah, we got to hear all of those ponies singing, these V8 late model stock cars singing down the straightaway. It looks like we're doubling up. The pace car is pulling off, and we're going to give it one more go here to finish off heat number 1.
And this restart is going to be a green-white checkered. So this is going to be the end of this heat race as Brian Brobes just jumps the gun extremely early, catches the rest of the field sleeping here. Devin Jack's going to be looking underneath Ryan. Excuse me there. Ryan Bittler. Is he going to be able to make this pass off into 3? It looks like he is. He's going to just send it down into 3, but Ryan's going to try to make the move. Maybe a crossover. Doesn't quite look like it.
Not quite enough momentum off the bottom there to make it work. Devin Jack now eyes forward. He's on the white. Not got enough time to make anything happen here as we're on the white flag lap, but good recovery after being spun around a couple laps ago, I'd say, for Devin Jack there. But off of turn 4, it's going to be Brian Brobst taking the win in our heat race tonight, setting himself up for a slightly better starting spot in the main. Got Devin Jack bringing it home second, Ryan Bittler bringing it home third, followed by Blaze Richardson and Patrick O'Toole, who brought down pit road earlier.
That's going to lead us into our warm-up session, and it gives us a little bit of time to talk about our pre-race stories. We're going to start out actually with the points from last week. We saw just how everything panned out. It was a wild race. We had a lot of different contenders there at the end, but Jacob Phillips was able to hold on and capture that win and the points lead. And Braxton Weiss, with that great recovery, was able to point his way up to second place. Devin Jack in that number 49 holding on, well, really in a tie for second place there. Then we have Chris French, Ryan Jones, who is not here tonight, Aiden East, Robert Brobst, and Richard Parks. And man, I'll tell you all what, it's already forming up to be a great points battle. We see one name that's missing there is the 15 of Kyle Terzak. With that incident, he was able to, or not able to, regain any track position. He lost a lot of points, but he's still very much a contender this season. We'll be looking for him to rocket his way up the boards. We're going to move on to our pre-race stories for tonight. And yeah, Justin, I believe you have some information on that.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, first thing, especially at Myrtle Beach, this old surface is tires, right? These drivers are going to be wearing out that right rear tire. We've seen a little bit of it just in that heat race alone with the running that higher line and those guys just getting really loose. That's going to upset that right rear tire. But we have seen drivers, quite a few of them out here, you know, Terzak, Braxton Deweese, Devin Jack. These guys are known for being able to save those tires. So we'll be keeping an eye out for them. Now, multiple grooves, yeah, you know, it'll work. I genuinely think that high line will definitely come through at the restarts of this race. Other than the very beginning of the restart, I believe.
On that note, right now, while we're during the warm-up session here, cars on track, guys just getting familiar. A lot of guys running the top, trying to work it in, get some rubber built in on that top line. I've been seeing out here. No need. Just something I want to point out for the people. You know, I see a lot of guys trying to rubber in that top, maybe try to make it a little more viable during the race. So we'll have to see how that develops throughout the night.
Without a doubt, and that third key point there is high speed, high confidence. I mean, we see in the heat race, the speeds here are extremely high, but the closing speed on everyone's cornering is going to be different. So we've seen it in the heat race. You know, Devin Jack took a pretty less aggressive corner while the guy behind him's just sending it in there. So we're going to have to be careful, keep those nose cleans. And in turn 1 and 2, note number 4 there, avoid those turtles. And let me tell you, as somebody who's driven around this track a few times and has clipped those quite a few times, they are not fun. They will send your car, especially those left sides, completely airborne.
Yeah, just like every race in this series with these cars, restarts or everything, it gets tough to pass a couple laps into a run, so it's really going to matter tonight who can capitalize on the restarts. We're going to have some people starting deep in the field who aren't going to want to stay there for very long. I'm looking at guys like last week's winner, Jacob Phillips, if he can find his way back to his rig tonight. Missed the heat race, but, you know, we'll see if he can make it back. If he can, he's going to be looking to march forward, and he's going to have to get a lot of that work done on the restarts.
Well, I'll tell you what, we are ready to get this thing underway. We'll be back right on the other end of this commercial from Whiplash Sim Cams for the start of the feature race. Hang on just a minute. All right, back here live from Myrtle Beach Speedway as we're wrapping up the warm-up session. We're ready to set the grid here. And any final thoughts from you two before we get this thing underway?
No,
you know, I actually do have some thoughts, Justin. Thank you for letting me go. I talked to someone who I really enjoy watching before the race. I had a chance to sit down with Benson Weaver. Definitely did not have the race he wanted last week, as we remember. He was definitely a little peeved. I got a quote from him here I'm going to read now. Remember, this is not my words. This is Benson's words. He says, quote, "It was an idiot not knowing how to hit his brakes. Not much you can do about that." And I just want to point out, Benson starts directly behind the guy that did that to him. So that's going to be something to watch tonight. It's definitely going to be fun as we're running through the starting grid here, starting with Chris French on the pole and Robert Brobst. We've got Dylan Potts and Garrett Lane in row number 2. riding tonight from row number 3. We've got Kyle Turksack and Braxton DeWeese, the 2 drivers to keep an eye on. The 2 guys who led most of the laps last week, but neither one of them came away with the win that they so desperately wanted. 7th, we've got Martin Piccatelli, and 8th, James Danforth in the number 88 machine. In 9th, we've got Randy Gross in the 31 machine, followed by Mason Wilson in the 7. Keep an eye on Randy Gross and Benson Weaver after last week's fireworks.
Yeah, and speaking of Benson Weaver, he's going to be starting in 11th place with Chase Berry in that number 58, starting 12th. Following in right behind them, Ryan Hinkle in the 21 machine, and to his outside, Angel Ortega. We have Ryan Bittler oh man, I got my grids all jacked up here. My apologies. Brian Probst, winner of our heat race just a moment ago. We're rolling off 15th with Devin Jack and is outside in 16th with Ryan Bittler 17th and Blaze Richardson in 18th. And rounding off our last row behind them, Patrick O'Toole, who did pull off during our heat race here, and then Jacob Phillips, who finally made it back. I guess he was AFK. He is back and made it on the grid, so he's going to be starting dead last night in 20th.
You know what happens to the best of us? Taco Bell drags us to the porta potty, and we don't make it out till right before the green flag stops. Glad to see you made it back, but I think we're looking for a great night of racing here at Myrtle Beach. Excited to see what happens. Excited to see where we land as we get ready to roll off here. Pace car is off. Field in the hands of Chris French. Ryan Brobst on his outside as we get going, as Brobst gets a jump on the top side into the wall, it looks like, on the start as we head off into turn 1. French is gonna be clear. Brobst behind him, side by side with the 2 of Dylan Potts, trying to work that high line in.
Yeah, that was definitely a weird restart there as they get settled in here. Chris French up front. Kyle Tierzak's going to be back here 4th. Braxton DeWeese back here in 5th place already. And Garrett Lane's been slowly falling back after starting in 4th place. Already back to 6th after 1 lap.
Yeah, might be a tire saving strategy there. You never know with these guys. Always something different going on here. As most of the field single file side by side a little bit further back. We got the 33 and the 08. Garrett Lane, Martin Piccatelli. Piccatelli trying to pick his way forward. As the 88 looks to the inside of the 08 now.
Everything's starting to bunch up here at about 8th to 9th place on back. They're still side by side, but Garrett Lane is still falling all the way back through the field, back to 8th. Getting past for 9th now. I just wonder if it's just because he's stuck on the outside as he's able to finally tuck in line here. And you can see him, he's already just trying to fight to get back to the bottom.
Yeah, that fight for the bottom is going to be big until that top lane gets rubbered in. If that top lane gets rubbered in, it's Randy Gross, a little bit of a hiccup there. Benson Weaver behind him. We talked before the race. Watch for some fireworks between those 2. I don't expect Benson to wreck him, but I certainly don't expect him to leave him an inch.
Yeah, Randy Gross had a moment there because he hit those turtles down on the inside of turn 1 and got that car all out of shape. But while that's going on, the battle for the lead is starting to ramp up. These top 3 drivers, you just throw them under a blanket, and Robert Brobst has been inching towards Chris French. Robert Brobst always has that short run, just right out the gate speed, and it's showing.
Yeah, I talked to Robert Brobst before the race today. You know, on his way to the grid tonight, he stepped in cat vomit, and he said he's a general displeasure to be around. I wish that was a fake quote. That's a legit quote that he gave me. He said to mention it. Last week he was really looking for that top 5 until, and I quote, once again, this is Robert Brobst's words, not my own. He said, I was really excited for a top 5 until I got my butt touched. That was Braxton DeWeese doing the butt touching. Robert Brobst looking great tonight. We're going to see if he can keep the run up.
I just love the quotes. I love the quotes.
Hey, well, someone's got to show how good of journalist we can be, and I guess it's going to be me, as Dylan Potts has moved by Robert Brobst for 2nd. Now looking to track down Chris French for the lead off of turn number 2.
Well, first and foremost, everything's been kind of at max speed today and kind of feels kind of rushed, but I do want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I'm going to go ahead and mention, since it's been put in there, Turzak about 4 times in the chat, as I've probably said it wrong 40 times. So thank you for the corrections. We got Terry Labonte starting 19th. Hopefully we get a good run.
Side by side for the lead. Dylan Potts moves up to that spot. Robert Bropes looking to follow him through on Chris French into turn number 1. Robert Bropes is going to be clear. See if he can track down Dylan Potts. As lurking in the background is Terzak and Braxton DeWeese, maybe saving a little bit of tires. They have fallen off nearly a second off these leaders. Definitely got to be something going on there. I want to take this opportunity yet again to tell you guys we are giving away a free pack of Panini NASCAR trading cards. If you comment in the chat tonight, winner will be picked at random later, I believe, unless we're giving it away some way different this weekend, in which case I missed production meeting. That's my bad. Action all over the racetrack tonight as we continue to watch these cars battle around this short racetrack. Great run tonight, great turnout. Excited to see what we get as a little further back. Benson Weaver has moved past Randy Gross. Unfortunate. I was really looking for some fireworks there. Maybe later.
Yeah, kind of looking through right now. Our biggest movers that we have tonight has been Jacob Phillips as well as Devin Jack. They've been slowly working their way through the field. I mean, keep in mind, Jacob Phillips did start dead last, and he's already trying to make moves on Devin Jack for 14th right now, but they're kind of stuck in just a swarm of cars in front of them, 2 by 2, about 3 rows in front of them. Really nowhere to go, but they're still trying to make the moves where they can, but I just don't think that outside line is going to do it for them, because you can just see they're stuck up there.
Yeah, it's a real gaggle of cars out there. Going to be tough to make any move with how evenly matched this field is. Really exciting to watch for us up here in the booth, though. Us no talent guys who couldn't cut it out there. It's really fun to watch.
You're speaking for yourself.
I'm As Benson Weaver looks to the inside of the 7 car of Mason Wilson, both of them trying to track down Garrett, stay in your lane. Looking to the inside, look at Brian Bropes looking here to the inside of Benson Weaver. Shoots it down the bottom of turn 1. Nearly washes up into Benson. Benson's going to keep him honest on the high side. A little bit of contact. Brian Bropes.
What a save.
That was nearly an accident right there in the middle of the pack. The Lord knows how many would have been caught up in that. Seahawks versus Panthers out there right now. Back up at the front, worth noting yet again, Dylan Potts stretching a long gap. He's got a second lead over Robert Bropes. And then it's another second back to Chris French. And then about another second back to Kyle Terzak and Braxton DeWeese. Really got to wonder who's playing what game here. I feel like there's got to be a lot of tire saving going on up the front. But, you know, I can tell you where there's not any tire saving, and that's anywhere else on the racetrack. We've got cars side by side all across this racetrack.
Well, one thing about this, I mean, we're only just shy of 20 laps into this 110 lap feature. So yeah, I expect to see these guys running that are back here in 4th, 5th, 6th position, because you can see that just it's one, how do I put this? It's crazy enough to see, especially somebody like Terzak and DeWeese, that the field is just bunched up behind them. And the way that these kind of tracks are, these single race group tracks, you're almost just forced to run the lap times of the guy in front of you because you can't get the run off the corner. You can't make the
spinning sideways. The 22 car gets turned into the outside wall by Randy Gross. That's going to be another person with Randy Gross on their hit list after tonight. Strong impact for the 22 there. It was a bit of a gross move there, if I do say so myself, as we get a look at the replay.
Yeah, we're going to go back and look. We saw it looked like the 31 had tagged the wall and came down. Maybe the 22 came up at the same time, thinking they were clear. You see it right there. That 31 smacks the outside wall. Maybe a little bit of a bump from Devin Jack. Not sure on that, but some contact made. And then number 22 hard into the outside wall for Angel Ortega.
Yeah, Angel Ortega, I don't know about you, but I'm not feeling 22 after that impact. That had to hurt. Going to be a rough recovery for the rest of the night. Nothing, guys. That one was funny. Come on.
I was clicking stuff, man. I was preoccupied.
Come on, I'm trying to have some fun here. Look at Randy Gross. Yeah, he just gets into that wall and then comes down the track right into the right rear of Angel Ortega there. Tough run for Angel Ortega. They were running pretty good up there. It's just one of those situations where you kind of overcorrect a little bit off a bit of an impact, and then unfortunately Angel Ortega goes for a ride because of it.
Yeah, but I mean, the contact seemed pretty flat up against the outside wall, so we'll see. She's on pit road now, but we'll see how much damage that car has, see how long they're on pit road, and maybe they make a good recovery here. Still pretty early in the race and plenty of time to make it back up.
Yeah, certainly. Plenty of time to make their way forward. Want to draw your attention real quick. We've got the Race Pulse heart rate monitor tonight. I believe that's on Robert Brobst, if I'm correct, right, guys? Yep,
yes.
I'm going to assume I'm right. He told me earlier. I was trying to get a segue there. Robert actually wanted me to mention something about that. His exact quote, "I'm fat and out of shape, so I hope you guys don't make fun of me too bad." Well, I'm here to tell you guys, 110 heart rate under yellow in a sim race is pretty crazy, Robert. Might want to get yourself checked out. I'm praying for you, buddy. We are double wide behind the pace car now, getting ready to get going, and gotta wonder, maybe that tire savings getting ready to pay off for guys like Turczak and Braxton DeWeese in D8. We'll see what's going on here.
We'll see how
pace
aggressive
cars
they
off.
are on these restarts.
As the two-car fires halfway through the box, gets a pretty good little jump there. Going to be clear into turn one, as behind him we've got Robert Brobst and Chris French side by side, with DeWeese and Turczak side by side behind them. We know last week those two couldn't get away from each other, hounding each other for the lead, and I think now they've decided to go. As Brian Brobst around in the corner, gets spun out. No clue what happens. We've got beef in the chat, as we've got Jacob Phillips blowing up right now. Not sure who he's mad at. We'll have to go back and check the replay, see if we can figure that out, get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, it looks like we might have a few incidents to go back here and look at. The initial incident with Brian Brobst spinning. We're going to take a look at that. A little bit of a tag from Benson Weaver on the straightaway. Big error from that number 11 down the backstretch and hard into the wall. And then we saw Jacob Phelps. Looks like Chase Berry and a few others involved in a... yeah, it's all because of that initial incident. Let's see, just some contact made between Jacob Phillips and Devin Jack. Chase Berry flies in and spins him around, and not nearly as bad of an incident as it was for Brian.
No, just like the other night, get out of the way. The Seahawks are coming through. Gonna be a bit of a weird one there for Benson. I got a feeling he might be singing EOL for that one from the race director. Not sure, but yeah, just one of those moments where cautions breed cautions. We had a really good green flag run there at the beginning. Let's see if we can get something dialed back in there. As I still don't see why Jacob Phillips was that mad. Maybe I missed something. That's very possible. I'm not the sharpest tack in the box, so we'll have to talk to him after the race, see if we can figure that out.
Well, back up front, still, it's going to be the number 2 of Dylan Potts. Able to hang on that restart. He got a really good jump. Able to hold on to that lead with Robert Brobst in second place. Chris French is going to hold on to third with a hard-charging Kyle Turczak in fourth. And then Braxton DeWeese in fifth place in that number 8 machine. Looks like we're going to be doubling back up. Get ready to go back to green flag racing once again here. See if Dylan's able to get another great launch on the inside.
Just want to point out, Robert Brobst has a little bit of damage on that front right corner of his hot rod there. Looks like his hood's a little crinked in. Don't know where that came from, but knowing Robert, just like he stepped in cat puke, I'm sure he stepped on himself and hit something.
Cat puke. I hope he cleaned it up.
I do too. I'm really hoping he did, but we're going to see as we're back in the restart zone. Much more even restart this time with side by side. Still Robert Brobst going to be when they enter turn one. Good run on the top side, trying to make it stick. Robert Brobst wants to drive around the outside. He thinks he's got a car to lead the race, and he's trying to go for it here now. Kyle Turczak on the high side there. Robert Brobst going to get clear. He's thinking about taking Turczak with him around the top, and boys, the top seems to be here for the moment.
I'm going to tell you what, I did not expect to see a pass on the outside. But guess what? We saw it as a little bit of contact between Turczak and Robert Brobst. They get it straightened out.
Yeah, 2 trailer park girls went around the outside, and now they're fighting for the win. This is going to be a great battle that we take through here. Robert Brobes, one of the toughest people on the track to pass, I can tell you that, but it might be in his best interest to let Kirksack go here. He's been saving his tires this entire ride. We got another caution, the 56 with his butt up in the air. Not sure what all happened there. I caught it at the end. Yellow flag out on the racetrack. We got the 56 and the 33 and the 44 all stopped on the racetrack in turn 2.
Last week's winner is definitely not having a lot of fun tonight. Probably kind of expected after starting dead last tonight.
Yeah, just a rough moment there. Martin Piccatelli didn't Piccatelli the right lane, I think. Not sure what happened. Let's see is, yeah, Benson getting him another one tonight. That's rough. Oh, and look at the air Jacob Phillips gets there. That's going to hurt.
Yeah, we may need to go back, Johnny, see how this kind of all started. We kind of caught it late there. Not sure how the 33 got around, but man, they stacked up big behind them.
I think it might have been our buddy in the one car, Benson Weaver. Air Benson didn't take off this time, but he certainly orchestrated a flight.
Well, let's take a look here because you see the battle. A little bit of contact between the 33 and 7. Got a little loose, came down and met Benson's nose. So
look at Benson. He barely got out of the way there. And yeah.
Sounds like you need to apologize.
Yeah, Benson, I made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and for that I apologize. This time it was not your fault. I'm sure you'll get one later. Yeah, on the racetrack now. A couple people made it down pit road. Not a lot of people at the front, I don't believe. So we'll see how that plays out. These guys had one set of tires in the pits. Choosing to use them now. I mean, you know, if we go caution-free to the end, I'm sure that's going to help you advance your track position, but we get more stops. I have a feeling some people are going to wait to save those. Some people are going to hold on till damn near the end of the race, I'm sure.
Yeah, but if it's anything like last week, right, Braxton Deweese stayed out on those set of tires pretty much the entire run and was still able to hold off in the lead. So as long as they take care of these tires, they may last the whole run.
Yeah, I'm sure the tires will last the whole run. I think it's just a question of, you know, if we get another green flag run like that and then another caution, the tire's going to have that much life left in them, you know? It's going to be fun to watch for us up here. Ooh. That's why we didn't get paid money to call these calls, you know? That's why we're the guys up here.
Yeah, we had a little bit of contact under yellow between the 2 and the 53. Yeah. A little bit of contact, though, from looked like Dylan was kind of warming up his tires and came right up into Chris French there, but they keep it going. Hopefully not too much damage to the car, but the pace car has dipped off, and Robert Probst.
The 33 got given an EOL there before we get to the restart zone, so deemed at fault for that incident. Robert Probst with a good jump there, nearly clear of Kyle Turksack, but I have a feeling Turksack's not going to wait long to get himself after him. He's already looking to the inside, and he's there. Turksack's looking to make his way to the front fast. I'm telling you guys, I think he was saving his tires, and I think it's about to pay off here as he's side by side with Robert Probst turn 4. I think at the stripe, give it to Kyle Turksack as he's going to ship it off into turn 1 with the lead. New leader, Kyle Turksack. Robert Probst trying to make the crossover, not quite enough there. I just don't think anyone else has the life in their tires. Robert Probst dives it in there, nearly contact, a little bit of contact with the rear rumble with a 15. Probst looking to the inside now.
An absolute huge move from Kyle Turksack to take the lead there and hold off Robert Probst, still under fire from that number 5. A little bit further back, we have Braxton Deweese at number 8 trying to make a move on Chris French down into turn 1. It looks like he's going to be able to get clear and move him into P4. And Dylan Cox is still hanging on here after leading early. Looking at these two battling up ahead of him. So the reaction is picking up here.
Yeah, Robert Probst still all over the rear bumper of Kyle Turksack. I don't think he wants to give that back up. I think he feels like he's got enough pace to run away if he can get back by him. But we got a much tighter field at the front this time than we did on that first long run. Look at Robert Probst just pounding him, running that bottom, trying to wrap the bottom, see if he can get the drive off. Turksack's just got a little bit better of an exit for now, though. Well, Baxter. We've got battles all across the racetrack. We've got the 18 and the 9 side by side a little bit further back for position. We've got the 1 and the 7 side by side. Battles all over the place as we continue to click off laps here, working lap 43 now.
Yeah, I've been back here watching this battle between Mason Wilson and Vincent Weaver. We know they've been very, very close all evening, and Ryan Hinkle is now looking underneath the 7 of Mason Wilson. Mason's just kind of stuck up in those marbles and just unable to make the moves down as he's able to bring it back to the bottom. But Ryan Hinkle right now, that beautiful Mountain Dew machine's actually been making a lot of moves up to the front. Started 13th tonight and is already up to 9th.
The 18 and the 56 almost got at it there for a lap or two. Nearly led with the 18 being in the wall there as they're both stuck on the outside now, getting worked over by Devin Jack and Ryan Bittler.
Given all of the action that 56 has seen tonight, it's good to see him trying to make his way back up into the top 10, given that he's been completely airborne already tonight. And
no,
same with
you
Devin
can
Jack.
see it. You can see it on the rear end, on the front end of that 56 car. His nose looks like it got punched in the face, and to be fair, it about did.
And so does the back of it.
Yeah, certainly seen better days, but he's trying to hold strong on the outside. He's doing a lot better than I thought he would have. I really thought that these guys would have driven right by him. Maybe he's on some fresher tires.
That is very well possible, but it looks like he is going to finally make that pass and put him in a P11, but the battle right now between 3rd and about 7th. They're just all single file, all following behind Braxton Deweese. Looks like Kyle Terzak.
Oh, car around Devin Jack into the wall hard. Big impact there for Devin Jack. Is trying to get it rolling again. Stopped. I think he's in turn 2 maybe. Gets the car spun back around, gets moving again, but the car doesn't look like it feels too good for last week's podium sitter.
Yeah, it seems like everybody who finished on the podium last week is having some troubles besides Braxton so far.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Devin Jack there in the 49 car, working in the middle of the racetrack, just comes up into the side of, who is that? I can't even tell. Is that the 18 and then gets finished off by the 22 of Angel Ortega, tags the front end of the 58, and then the 31 got involved a little bit as well. Just a real gaggle there of bad luck all around. Yeah, I think the place you didn't want to be tonight was on the podium last week, it would seem. Just bad luck all around for those guys, except so far for Braxton Deweese, but remains to be seen. A lot of laps left. We're very nearly approaching halfway.
Yeah, Chase Berry's not having any fun tonight either in that 58. He's been caught up in pretty much everyone else's mess tonight.
Well, that's part of being a race car driver, unfortunately. Some weeks you're Chase Berry tonight. It's just part of the game as he was on pit road there. I hope they got the car fixed up enough for him to still be competitive. You know, it's these cars can take a little bit of a beating, not much, but you know, they'll be all right. They'll be all right. I mean, look at Jacob Phillips up there. That car's been airborne, and it looks like he ran head on into the outside wall at 200 miles an hour, and he's still out there doing great. Well, guys, we knew it was going to happen. I don't know if we expected it to take this long, but Kyle Turksack in the lead now. Braxton Deweese in 3rd. Do we think we have a repeat of last week on our hands where these two just get up front and run away from the field, and then it's very clearly them versus the field until something happens, or what are we thinking?
I mean, it happens quite a bit. It looks like Turksack's going to take the top for this restart. But yeah, Braxton Deweese, I mean, I expect him to capitalize very quickly to try to gain the track position to get past that number 5 machine so he can try to just attack right now because he knows he needs to. He knows that 15's fast.
Yeah, you know, you can see why he would take the top, too. He's been fantastic on the top these past few restarts. The top has moved like crazy, so definitely makes sense. His pace car's off. 15 gets a shot in the rear from the 2 car there. Big stack up there.
Yeah, biggest loser of that stack up is going to be Benson Weaver. He lost a lot of spots. They probably got a couple of black flags probably getting thrown for that, but nonetheless, Kyle Terzak's going to just take a commanding lead, and here's Braxton trying to attack on that number 5 of Robert Brobst. Robert Brobst, look at that heart rate already, 120 as we just taken just 2 laps under green.
Yep, and he's gonna have a hard time keeping Braxton Deweese behind him. You know how fast Braxton is. And Braxton's not gonna want to wait up here. He wants to get after Kyle Terzak, and if he wants to do that, he needs to make the move sooner than later. Gets a good run off, looking to the inside. Braxton DeWeese side by side into turn 1. Robert Brooks pinches him a little bit, but gives him the room. Side by side, still down the back stretch. Even 5 with a little bit of momentum. Braxton to the bottom, wraps that line, seeing if he can get clear. Not quite going to do it yet. This is exactly what Kyle Turczak wants to see in his mirror. He's saying, yes, side by side, still for as many laps as you can. Please let me run away from you. I need all the laps I can to get away. Still side by side, working lap number 3 side by side. These guys just will not give it up. Potts behind tries to find a way through as well. This is just, oh my goodness, I thought DeWeese would have had this by now. There he goes.
Almost clear. Finally clears him, but not without an entire second loss to Kyle Turczak up there in the lead. Wow, Robert almost drove in and gave him a shot, but was able to back off beforehand. And looks like Dylan Potts is going to try to capitalize on this 3rd position as well.
Yes, sir. Dylan Potts side by side with Robert Brooks now, trying to see if they can work their way by. Robert Brooks clearly falling off a little bit here. Maybe it's just because he can't get down to the bottom, but, you know, he's got to make something happen here as soon as he's nearly clear. If he can get down, if he can just send it a little harder into the turn, might get clear, but Dylan Potts not going to let him do it. Side by side, nearly runs him up the racetrack there. I think there was a little bit of contact there. Let's see, can we pull up that heart rate monitor? Where are we at for Robert Brooks? I gotta imagine his ticker's going crazy right now. 131 on the heartbeat. Look at Robert Brooks. He's fighting like a high-performance athlete right now. And he truly is. Look at this run as Dylan Potts clears, and now it's Robert French. Is that Chris French to the inside now? Yep. Robert's got to get down to the bottom sooner than later, otherwise he's just going to get himself a one-way ticket to the back.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to do because all these drivers just lining up on the bottom, just waiting their turn to pass him right now. He's going to almost have to force his way down there.
Nearly there. Oh, so close to clear, but he's not quite going to get there, and the bleeding's going to continue as here comes the 88 and James Danforth to the inside. And it's just a line behind him. There's still 3 more after Danforth that's probably going to get by him unless he finds himself a hole.
Yeah, Garrett Lane's next in line. He's already licking his chops. That's all he gives Danforth the little shot to the inside there. Danforth's able to keep it going straight.
In but the wall, like Robert Bros. Garrett Lane picking the 3rd lane to the bottom, nearly 3 wide about. Thought about it, gets clear. Now Benson Weaver to the inside of Robert Brooks. Wants to bring Ryan Hinkle with him now.
Yeah, Robert Brooks is struggling on that outside line right now as he continues to hit the walls. We got a yellow out on the track.
Yeah, not sure what that's for. I don't see anything on my end. Do you guys?
Yeah, Angel Ortega went for a spin down on the back straightaway. At least that's what my notes are telling me.
Well, yeah, that's fine. You know, Angel Ortega's had an up-down night. It's just one of those things. He's working with the 31 arena group, just loses it on corner exit. Yeah, we've all done that once or twice, I know. Happens to the best of us. Didn't touch anything, I don't think. I think he's going to be all right to keep going. As the 2 car, the 53 car, both on pit road right now. And as is the 8 and the 15 are leading.
Yeah, pretty much the entire field pit except for Ryan Hinkle. Looks like Jacob Phillips and Brian Brobst.
Yeah, and I'm sure those guys probably just didn't have their set of tires anymore.
I know Robert Brobst is probably enjoying this yellow. Get that heart rate kind of down a little bit.
Yeah, he's in danger of that ticker exploding if he's not careful. He told me before, he says, I am fat and out of shape. I cannot afford to have my heart up too high, otherwise it's going to start to hurt. And by gosh, I bet it is. Good stops all around for everybody. Don't think we're going to see a huge shakeup on pit road, but we'll see where everything shakes out. I'm sure Turczak and DeWeese probably wanted to see a few more laps, you know, try to take advantage of the fact that they did save their tires so well earlier throughout the run. But, you know, I really do think Robert Brobst is probably going to be thrilled with this just because he's not going to be sandwiched on the outside. Or even if he does line up on the outside, at least he'll have a chance to clear somebody and get back down to the bottom.
Yeah, but the battle right now, I think it's going to ramp up for this top 5 to try to fight. We just hit halfway not too long ago. And so we got some fresh tires from 5th on back. These top 3, I'm really curious to see if they're going to be able to hold off, you know, just the speed out of this 15 and this 8 tonight.
I'm scared, to be honest with you. I think it's going
Yeah,
to be a heck of a restart here. That's probably going to end in another stack up and some pain. But you know, if you're Kyle Turksack, I think you're thrilled. You got one car in front of you. You're on the top. If you really have to, you can send it 3 wide. I don't think he's going to need to, though. I have a feeling he's going to make quick work of both of these guys.
Well, nonetheless, last week's winner's up in second place. Same strategy that he did last week. Let's see if it pays off for him. Ryan Hinkle in command. He's going to wait, and he's going to fire late. But nonetheless, it's still a great start from that 56, as well as Brian Brobst and Turksack. They got a great start.
Yeah, clear is going to be the 21 of Ryan Hinkle off of turn 2, side by side behind him. Brian Brobst on the bottom, Jacob Phillips on the top. Kyle Turksack needs to find a way through, so does Braxton DeWeese. This is where the battle's going to be. It's going to be which one of these two can get through this traffic better. And I think give the advantage to Braxton DeWeese right now, just by virtue of being on the bottom, as we are under caution again. Robert Brobst around on the front stretch, I believe.
Oh, that's not good.
Yep, that's Robert Brobst. Yeah, that's let's see what happened to the short race winner. Look at that heart rate spiked up to 134. You know something happened. Folks, while we pull up this replay, I just want to remind you again, comment in the chat to enter for a chance to win these free NASCAR trading cards. As, yeah, 5 loses it there, gets finished off by the 49 of Devin Jack. That's going to be a fun voice call to be in, I'm sure. 5 gets going without much of an issue there.
Yeah, unsure what really happened. I think he hit the inside wall in turn 1. It just got him all kind of out of shape a little bit.
A very weird incident. Not the kind of mistake you see a guy like Robert Brobst make often.
I think it happened right before that, but yeah,
Let's think on. He's just on the bottom there. Takes a really shallow entry, gets in the grass on the bottom, that little strip of grass, gets really loose, and just trying to save it for the rest of the corner until Devin Jack shows up on scene and spins it around. Yeah, Robert Brobst's going to bring it to the attention of the pit crew there, see if he can get it figured out.
Well, we heard him barking, and Chase Perry, after being involved in a few incidents here tonight, is going to get the lucky dog, and we'll be back on the lead lap, trying to recover from what has been a very unfortunate night for Chase Berry.
Yeah, Chase Berry, the dog is barking, and what a very good boy, if I do say so myself, to get back on the lead lap. I'm sorry. Double file up at the front. Ryan Hinkle looking like he's probably going to take the bottom here. Jacob Phillips behind him, followed by Brian Brobst, Kyle Turksack, and Braxton DeWeese in the top 5. Hitting the stripe there. Lights are out on the pace car. Hinkle takes the bottom as Jacob Phillips is going to fill up on the top side. Yeah, and look at Kyle Turksack revving that car up, trying to keep those tires clean. He wants to go. He's tired. He does not like being behind these guys. He's ready to do it. We enter turn number 4. Pace car pulls off. Field in the hands of Ryan Hinkle as we look out the back door here at the number 11 of Brian Brobst. Firing. Good restart. Gets clear of Jacob Phillips. He's going to have his preferred line side by side behind him is Brobst and Phillips. DeWeese and Turksack still looking for a way through as Ryan Hinkle looks to scoot away from the pack. Clear of the pack in turn 3 and 4, but it's a gaggle behind him as Turksack nearly gets squeezed into the wall. Yeah, he does. Turksack into the wall hard, 3 wide nearly there. This is not what Turksack wants to see as Jacob Phillips way up the racetrack. Going to get swallowed by Benson Weaver even now as we've got side by side for second, Brian Brobst and Braxton DeWeese. Braxton DeWeese finally gets by Kyle Turksack. That's going to be the story to watch here. We know Turksack had his number earlier in the race as Turksack looks to the inside maybe of Braxton DeWeese. Not quite there yet. They're going to set their sights on Ryan Hinkle, but this battle for second isn't over yet. Kyle Turksack right on the bumper of Braxton DeWeese wants to get that position back. They know they're fighting for the provisional win once everyone else hits. together. These two, I mean, it happened last week. It's happening again this week. These two are just like glued together. They're like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. You can't get them apart. Star-crossed lovers driving for different teams, but my God, do they belong together on the racetrack. These two put on a show every time, and they continue to do it right now. As Turksack tracks down Deweese, while Deweese tries to track down Ryan Hinkle for the actual lead of the race.
Even though they've been battling very, very tough here, they are still reeling in that 21 of Ryan Hinkle. I'm just waiting on what I expect to see, a dive bomb from that 15 machine underneath this 8, because you could just tell he's working it up. I mean, it's going to happen.
Yeah, these two, oh, look at that run for both of these guys trying to track down Ryan Hinkle. Look to the inside, Braxton Deweese, as Turksack runs a little bit higher to get the exit off so he can try to follow him through. He's going to do it. Braxton Deweese nearly clear of Ryan Hinkle here. Gets him on the entry to the turn, and he's going to bring Kyle Turksack with him, I believe. And that's going to put these two back 1 and 2. Yep, look at Kyle Turksack. Ryan Hinkle lifted, said, I want nothing to do with what you two madmen have planned. He's just going to lie and wait for these, see what happens. And it's going to be good, guys. We've got a battle on our hands right here. We've got 31 laps left, and these two are going to be glued to each other the entire time.
Well, while that battle's going on, I think I finally figured out how to get our trivia questions up. And let's see if it pulls up. It does. Oh, look at that. I'm smart. Thank you, Ellis, for making it easy for me. Here's the question. In what year did Myrtle Beach host its final lap race before closing for redevelopment?
Type in chat. Let us know if you know the answer. We know the answer. Do you?
No, I do not know the answer.
I lied too. I have no clue what the answer is. I got an educated guess, but I don't know.
Johnny, what do you got? I don't know my Myrtle Beach trivia.
I know it, but we're gonna let the chat get in there, and
exactly what I'd say if I didn't want people to think I didn't know it. Oh, look at this battle for the lead. Turksack nearly made contact with the bumper of Braxton Deweese there. We're gonna leave that question up on for at least another minute or two. Let you guys get your guesses in. Turksack is just... Oh, we got a caution on the racetrack. The 7 car, Mason Wilson, around in turns 1 and 2, it looks like. Yeah, 1 and 2, I think, maybe. I don't know. Gets it back going again. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here.
Oh, just a kiss right there on the back of the 22.
Yep.
Loses the front end, and around they go.
We're going to have to go back again and just watch, because coming out of the corner, man, that 7 was all over the place. He had a great save. You got to go back a little bit further here and just see through the middle of the corner. It looks like he hit the turtles and gets a little out of line. Man, that wheel was all the way to the right. He saves it, and he goes down into the corner and a little bit of contact with that 22 with those hot tires, and around goes
around he goes.
Mason Wilson.
Can we just point out how impressive it was? The rest of the field did not pile through him when he started to spin. Can we back that up and see that again? Because they split him 3 wide. That was impressive, honestly. Let's see. Who was that? Because those guys deserve the Haynes Clean Undies Award of the night.
You're talking right here. It looks like the 9 of Bittler and the 5 of Brooks.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Let's call the guys at Haynes, see if we can get some fresh undies for Robert there. That had to be scary. Wow. As we are still pacing here, still at least one more time under yellow here. But wow. Guys, it's been an action-packed night so far. We're sitting at 25 laps to go, I believe. No, not quite. I'm not going to do that math, actually. I'm going to embarrass myself again. Who you guys got for the win? Who y'all picking? Johnny, who you got?
Man, I'll tell you what. It's kind of giving me a Kyle Turksack vibe. I think he has just a little bit more pace than Braxton. It's just going to be all about getting by him and getting by him clean. But I think we're going to see that 15 get it done here tonight.
Justin, I don't. While I agree with you, Johnny, but I think Braxton is going to be able to hold him off. I mean, he's gonna have to put his car everywhere that 15 is going to be. The only way that he's going to be able to let that 15 by is if he gets moved out of the way.
Yep, I agree with you. That's why I'm picking the 21 car, because I think that Kyle Turksack is going to accidentally move Braxton DeWeese and get a drive-through for it, leaving the door open for Ryan Hinkle. As the pace car is off as we enter turn 4, Braxton DeWeese likes that bottom. Let's see what he can do. Oh, what a jump by Braxton DeWeese. Going to be clear of Kyle Turksack about before we go to turn 1, but Kyle Turksack's going to send it down to the bottom, nearly gets to the inside of Braxton DeWeese. As side-by-side, Ryan Hinkle, Benson Weaver side-by-side. Benson Weaver on the top, Ryan Hinkle on the bottom. Give it to the one car of Benson Weaver, maybe. Oh, Benson, if you don't get it done here, you're going to get taken. You're going to get freight trained, buddy. You got to make something happen now. Not quite enough. Oh, he's going to clear him. He's clear. Look at Benson with the power move to take third. What a move by Benson Weaver.
Do not take your eyes off of the lead right now. Within inches in these corners is that 15 machine. But look, he's going to, I mean, he's right there underneath Braxton. He's just getting lower and lower, like almost hitting the turtles off here in turn 1 and 2 as we got a yellow flag.
Yep, yellow flag. Ryan Hinkle is going around on the backstretch. Not sure what happened there. We'll have to get a replay and check. But in the meantime, Justin, you want to tell us the answer to our trivia question?
Yeah, let's take a look. Right after this replay, we will talk about our trivia question. I definitely want to see what happened here. I think it involved the 56, so let's see as they go off into turn 1. Oh, a little bit of a caught the turtle just a little bit, Ryan Hinkle there. And yeah, kind of just got finished off, it looks like, from Chris French there. But yeah, clipped that turtle, got a little sideways. But yes, to answer the question, if you guessed 2020, well, you guessed correctly.
Hey, good job to everyone who guessed that answer, got it right in the chat.
So I think that might be wrong. I don't know. From my my Chat GTP research for the race, I think it was 2019, and the track officially closed in 2020. But we'll have to. Hey, I'm going to go off of whatever it said there. But
to be fair, the bulldozer got the final lap.
Okay.
Yeah, oh man, save the racetracks, man. What a shame. Oh,
was that too soon?
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Yeah, we definitely hate to see it.
Yeah, French finished him off there. I don't think that's going to be found to be his fault, though. Just one of those racing deals. Just one of those racing deals. Car in front catches the curb, checks up a little bit, and you don't quite check up in time. That's not his fault, you know?
Either way, we're going to rack them up one more time. Just a handful of laps left here. 17 laps to go. And, man, we got a battle for the ages up here. Two of the strongest contenders that we have in the late model season based off of last week. And we got Benson Weaver, Chris French, Hungry Dogs in the second row. We're going to double them up. Braxton's taking the inside once again. See if he's able to get another great jump and try to fend off Kyle Turksack for the lead.
Yeah, I'd like to revise my pick, actually, since Ryan Hinkle got spun. I will now be picking the one car to assume the lead when the 8 and 15 take each other out. So, revise my pick to Benson Weaver. Air Benson from wrecking last week and going airborne to winning this week. That's my pick. That's what's going to happen. Pace car is off. Braxton DeWeese going to lead him out of turn 4. Oh, Kyle
with the jump. We'll have to see if he gets a penalty for that. He was in front of the 8 car before the green, so we will see. He tried to time it, but just came up short, but possibly going to be okay here as he's looking. He's probably going to give that 8 a kiss. He does.
Uses the chrome horn on Braxton DeWeese, but it's not quite enough for him to get by. Braxton DeWeese still going to lead with 15 laps to go. Running up that little core lane up as they dime in the corner, nearly taking out the curbs. Kyle Turksack not giving him room to breathe as the 8 car around on the backstretch.
Oh, big crash on the back straightaway.
Well.
Flip count number 2 on the season.
Oh my gosh, are we the Chili Bowl? We need a flip count. 7 car barrel rolled there.
There was like 6 different wrecks that happened there. One full rollover and one that almost went over.
Let's see if we can get to the bottom of this. Let's put our detective on, boys. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here.
Yeah, I mean, it
Steven
happened.
checked up.
And it
Yeah, it
happened
happened way
well
further
above all
forward
that
than
as
that.
well.
I'd like to see what happened with the 9 car, maybe. Yeah, the 9 car looked like he might have been involved with that one a little bit. See if we can get a replay pulled up. The guys in the booth are going to do a great job getting that ready for us. There we go. Let's see. Oh, it actually was Devin Jack, it looks like. Even further ahead. Is that the 08?
Yeah, I think we had like 4 different wrecks that happened at once. So we had Devin Jack that ended up hitting the rumbles going down low. Garrett Lane way up in the front with contact from, I believe, the 56.
Further down, Johnny. 08. There you go. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to 08. I saw him nose it into the backstretch inside wall around the middle of the straightaway. So that's going to be interesting to see. I mean, this was just complicated. Oh, he bounced off the rumbles. The 49 saw it and checked up.
Caught the turtles, and then everyone's going to stack up behind. But, man, look at 58, almost upside down. The 7 does a full rollover.
7 car doing his best impression of Kyle Larson at the Chili Bowl. Flips it over. That's not fun.
Oh, and then Patrick O'Toole comes in for the final blow on the 08 there on the inside wall.
Yeah, they're going to use a lot of tools to fix that car up. That's unfortunate there for those guys. They work hard to get these cars on the track every week. Nope, we're going to rack him again.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's about to get racked right back up. So we did have a pass for position during that few lap restart that we have, and that was Chris French taking over the 3rd position from Benson Weaver.
Yeah, I think French got lucky there, and it was one of those moments where his nose was in front when the caution came out, and because of the way iRacing does scoring a little differently than you would a traditional racetrack, it doesn't come back for the last lap. It's just whoever's in front the moment the caution comes out.
Well, nonetheless, Kyle Turzak got a lucky restart there and didn't get the black flag for jumping it, so he's going to learn his lesson from that last one. But Baxton DeWeese, I guarantee you, is going to change up the way he does this restart as the pace car dips off. When is that 8 going to fire? We shall see here in a moment. He fires off pretty early, but yeah. But Turzak gets a great launch, timed it perfectly. Is he going to be able to make the power move on the outside? I think he has the car to do it, but we shall see. Braxton Deweese right now with a good half a car length in front of him, or up to his door, but man, they're just neck and neck.
Sideways, 88 in the wall, hard. 56 gets nearly airborne again. Oh my gosh, and I'm hearing over the chat right now, Kyle Turksack is going to be your leader here, guys. I think Kyle Turksack's your leader. Yeah, Kyle Turksack to the lead off of the yellow flag on the caution. We just talked about it with Benson Weaver taking the advantage, or not getting the advantage over French there.
Yeah, it all depends on that timing zone, because I believe the timing zone sort of towards the middle of the corner, and the 15 was leading in the center of that corner. That's a tough break.
Yeah, that's just that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate for Braxton DeWeese, and he lit up on the radio there. I was able to overhear that, begging the race director to do something about that to make it right. Feels like he's been wrong. Just a 56 just plowed through him there. I can't tell if he had a little help going into him, but definitely not the night James Danforth wanted.
56 received a lot of love tonight. He's just passing it on.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Braxton DeWeese to lose the lead. We'll just have to see if he can get him back on the restart. Braxton's been good on the restarts, though. We'll just have to see what's going on. Checking in with Robert Brope's heart rate right there. Still sitting at 116, middle of the pack there. He's back there in the hornet's nest.
Well, he was just in that last incident as well.
Yeah, and we want to thank Robert Brope for letting us get a peek inside his health there, see how he's feeling. Sitting at 115, still under yellow. Needs to consider chilling out a little bit, taking it easy. This last little dash here to the finish is not going to be fun.
Yeah, next week we're going to do DNA samples and check what your blood type is.
All right. Why did I laugh at that? Oh my goodness. Is lights maybe out on the pace car? Yep, lights are out on the pace car. Kyle Turksak's going to take the bottom. Braxton Louise going to bring it around the top, followed by French and Weaver. So, if you're Turksak, where are you firing in the box, Justin?
I'm going to fire early. That's what I would
Same
do.
thing last week, and it didn't work for him. So let's see if he takes your advice this time.
Yeah, but Braxton's going to have to capitalize on this. He's seen the move,
Yeah.
the power move on the outside, so predict that cautions are going to breed more cautions. See when he fires. He fires fairly early. Braxton does get a good start. Not as good as Kyle did. Is he going to be able to make the crossover going in the corner?
He wants to. You can see it. Nope, he's going to fall in line. So
Oh, we got a spin off turn 2. 22
Oh,
around.
Angel
All right,
Ortega, hard
it looks
impact.
like Chase Berry also gets a clip of that too. But he keeps it going. Oh, yeah. Cautions are just breeding cautions, and it looks like it's a possibility we may see a green, white checkered here unless we get a quick yellow.
Let's see what we're doing. This may well be our last caution. I think you're right. This is going to bring us to a green, white checker. Let's see what happens here. Oh, Robert Bropes tags him. And then the 21. Is that the 21 that finished him off there?
Yeah, Ryan King as well as Chase Berry. It's just tough break. I mean, these guys just can't get out of the carnage of what's
That
been
shit's
a pretty brutal night tonight.
Yeah, you know, we've seen some long runs, but these cautions just tend to breed cautions. It's just an unfortunate product of the short track racing that we all love so much. Yeah, wow, that hurt. Yeah, look at the impact the 21 took to the outside wall. He's going to be walking funny tomorrow.
Yeah, and did confirm that this will be the green, white checker. This will be the final restart of our race tonight. These drivers only get one attempt at a green, white checker, so they're going to have to make use of it, or else this race is going to get cut pretty early.
Yeah, Kyle Turksak desperately trying to make up for points lost last weekend. This is going to be an interesting restart here.
But this is
Robert
going to be
Bropes.
Braxton's probably last attempt, kind of last-ditch effort. So do you think he's going to use that bumper and move the 15 out of the way if he gets the opportunity?
I think if you're in his shoes, in his seat, in his rig, you have to. Give that, you got to make the move. Let the race director decide later if it was fair or not. Speaking of the race director, Randy Bechtel, shout out, giving Robert Bropes an EOL penalty for that last incident. I think that's the right call.
Shout out for laying down the law.
Yep, Kyle Turksak on the bottom, Braxton Deweese on the top. We're going to get the 1 to go signal this time by, I believe. This is going to be a chaotic restart, boys. They all need to strap in, pull those belts tight, pray to whatever deity they believe in, lick the stamp, and send it. It's go time, pay windows open. These two bitter rivals. This is going to be great. Petty Pearson, Waltrip Earnhardt, Turksak Deweese into the restart zone, gets ready to go. Fires right when he hits the box. Gonna try to be clear before he gets to turn 1. I think he will be. Gonna leave the move to Braxton Deweese, but look at the gap he's got going into turn 1. Not even close as Braxton Deweese. Kyle Turksak scooting away down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Let's see if we can get there. See, look at Braxton close up a little bit on entry. He needs a really good exit here if he's going to have any chance. White flag in the air. Kyle Turksak leads with 1 lap to go. Sends it off into turn 1. Braxton Deweese doing all that he can, asking his tires for just a little bit more. But I don't think it's going to be enough, boys. Down the backstretch for the final time. Kyle Turksak to the bottom. Braxton Deweese not going to get there. And off of turn 4, Kyle Turksak wins the Bash at Myrtle Beach 110 in the super late models. That was a fantastic, fantastic finish by Kyle Turksak. What a restart. What a finish.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to hear some frustration out of some of these drivers that finished in our podium tonight. Probably, you know, I can already see Braxton probably feel like he kind of got hosed there on that restart. Kind of just, you know, out of his control, you know.
Yeah, we've been hearing it on the radio. He's not happy. And you know, how could it be? 2 weeks in a row now, Braxton Deweese felt like he's been in the position to win the race and just not coming away with it. How do you... Oh, we're going to have to ask him how you cope with that as a race car driver, because I think that there would be a hole in the wall if that were me.
Well, nonetheless, he's still going to be excited about that. Number 8, probably sitting P1 after tonight in the point standings because of the dual second place finish, given that Terzak did not get the good finish last week. Yeah, sure, he came home with the win today, but right, sometimes people win and lose the battles, but it's all about the war at the end of the day.
Yeah, that was great. Want to also shout out Chris French. French flies back up to 3rd. Benson Weaver 4th. Dylan Potts 5th. Randy Gross brings it home 6th. James Danforth 7th. Garrett Lane 8th. Ryan Bittler in 9th. And Martin Piccatelli picks up another top 10.
Well, we'll hear from the top 3 and more right after we step away for just a minute to hear from our partners at Flash Sim Cans. We'll be right back on the other end. We are back after the bash at Myrtle Beach 110. Incredible race through and through, and it's time for us to interview our podium finishers. James, I believe you were called up with Chris French.
Yeah, Chris French, that was very fun. My call at the line was Chris French flies back to the front. How do you feel after that race tonight, buddy?
Yeah, for the amount of practice I got, I feel pretty good about it. So I just tried to keep it clean right around and not force the issue and just try to put myself in position there.
Yeah, very interesting run. Do you feel like you had anything for Deweese and Terzak?
Oh, definitely not. No, those guys are in a league of their own. And so, really the MO this season is just to try and stack as many good finishes as I can so that at least I'm in position, hopefully for a top 3. If not, maybe they have some bad luck and able to capitalize.
Yeah, certainly a great run for you tonight. Fell back a little bit there at one point, but were able to get back up there. Tell us about the race as a whole. How'd you feel from the beginning? What was your story tonight?
Yeah, I felt like, as far as handling goes, not a lot of practice. I probably got about 25 laps in there. I was busy reading children's books, classics like Go Dogs Go. So, I was getting my reading comprehension skills instead of practice on here. But, yeah, the setup felt kind of tight to me. And so on that pit stop, I took 2 tires. It just took right sides, and it feels like it kind of loosened it up some for me. So I think that actually helped me out later. But the rest of the time, it was just, not really racing guys, just trying to save my stuff. And, luckily everybody out there showed a lot of respect and raced each other pretty clean. So it makes it a lot easier when you can do that.
Yeah, well, we certainly appreciate you hopping in with us. Anybody you want to shout out? Who gets it done for you in that 53 machine?
Yeah, shout out to localmobilehomebuyer.com. They'll buy your mobile home anywhere in the United States. So if you're looking to sell a mobile home in a park, on a piece of land, or one that needs to be moved, they can help you out. And La Lajita Mexican restaurant in White Pine, Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thank you much for hopping in. We appreciate your time. Great run tonight, and look forward to maybe talking to you again next week.
Thanks, guys. You guys put on a great great show, and thank you guys for putting us on.
We appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Well, Justin, I believe you've caught up with our second place finisher. We've got Braxton DeWeese with you, Justin. Go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, Braxton Louise, you got a copy?
I got you.
Well, I know this is not the night that he probably wanted to finish second place tonight. Kind of got the short end of the stick there, I should say, with that horrible timing for that caution, which ended up putting you behind the 15, I guess, from just a horribly placed timing loop. But nonetheless, strong performance tonight. But just talk me through it right now.
Yeah, we played it right again, just like last week, and that's all we can do. There's nothing to be real, pissed off about or mad about. It's stuff happens. So, we finished third and second so far with the stuff that we've been dealt. Granted, it's not been like a lot of stuff, but being spun there, getting back up to third, and then like you said, with that timing loop there. With the transponders being on the rear axles of these cars, he was ahead just a little bit into 3, but from the halfway on, I was half a car length when the caution came out. So it's frustrating, but what can you do about it if it's in the iRacing software and coding? So it is what it is. We like I said, we did what we were supposed to do and be up there. Kyle and I were talking. We haven't really had an opportunity to battle. I mean, we did at the preseason showdown there at Darlington a little bit. I was able to get around them, but that was the only battle that we were able to do. Other than that, it's just been me pitting or him getting in a wreck or whatnot, and just a bunch of little stuff. So, I feel like majority of the time that Kyle and I race around each other, it's a little more aggressive than I like. But I think that it'll be better here, and it was better there at the end. There was a little bit of contact, but from previous races compared to now, I probably would have been spun around previously, but it's definitely been a little bit better. So hopefully we can have some good, hard, clean racing this entire season with it only being 10 races. None of us can really have any mess ups. He already had a mess up, and I don't need that mess up for that drop week. So it's going to be tough, but if we have weeks like this, it should be pretty good.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, it's been very, very tough racing. Like you said, there was a little bit of contact there, probably more than what you're comfortable with in these cars. But nonetheless, right? Third place last week, second place this week. That can only mean one thing, right? First place next week, South Boston. How do you like that track?
I like that track. It's high speed. Hopefully, BDR can give us a pretty good set there. If we get a nice, good loose set, that's going to be some fun racing there. This was on a little bit of the snug side, but it was still all right. Still better than nothing. I know iRacing can release some pretty tight setups. So glad that he's able to put the time into that and do that. And, I'm looking forward to what that set's going to feel like next week. I've been able to run pretty good there in a pretty good league before in the past, but in 2023, so it's been a couple years, but I don't think a whole lot has changed with these cars from what I can feel. But I ain't the best in these things. I'm all right, so we'll just try to keep getting better because there's always room for improvement.
Oh, without a doubt. Well, I know you have your entire encyclopedia full of sponsors you'd like to thank, so let's go ahead and tell them before we let you go tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Big shout out to Happy Baby Karaoke. They got karaoke going on right now at Good Time Charlie's in downtown Miamisburg. It's a cool little town if you're ever in the Dayton area, and it's a pretty cool place to just go eat and just see and stuff. They got some good stuff going on downtown. Compared to when I was little, it's definitely different, and it's an improvement. So go check them out down there, as well as Interstate 4, 3 Dips Ice Cream Shop, Steak Time, Mounds Arts Images, Dewey's Reservations, Elevated TV, Paid Leave, Wooden Nickel Band, Ghost Train, Short Track Report, Scrum and Tires Media, Evan Pineda Designs. We were able to get the Evan Pineda Designs Pole Award 2 weeks in a row so far, so that's definitely good for points. We try to get all the bonus points you can. It definitely helps. And also a big shout out to Our Pizza House for helping not only the Roadsters, but Winchester Speedway, serving pizza there. It's pretty damn good. I appreciate you fellas for dealing with me and my encyclopedias, like you said. But nonetheless, I'm looking forward to go back and watching this. You guys always put on a great production no matter what. It's one of the best ones going on, in my opinion, for what I'm running. So looking forward to Wednesday. We need a pretty solid run there at Las Vegas, and I hope we can. So we'll see what we can do. But James, Justin, and Johnny, y'all take care.
All right,
Thanks for
man.
asking. We appreciate it.
Enjoy the second place, and hopefully talk to you again next week.
Thank you, sir. Hopefully it's one spot better.
Yes, sir.
I don't doubt that one bit, but James, you are caught up with our race winner tonight.
Yes, I am. Kyle, hey, you need to help me. How do I pronounce your last name?
Perzak, the C is.
Perzax. Yeah, I've been dropping the C in there the entire time because I'm stupid, and that's just part of the game, unfortunately. Great win tonight. Great drive. After last week, I'm sure that feels pretty damn good, doesn't it?
Yeah, after last week, pitting for the tires and having that huge accident, I got caught up in it, so I used my one drop. So gotta be pretty good from now to the end of the season. So yeah, that was I got really lucky right there. I feel like direction was pretty good on the restarts, and I timed one pretty good. Got to his outside and then overdrove the corner, and that ultimately actually gave me the lead on the restart. So yeah, I feel like that if we would have went green with about 10 to go, I feel like I might have got him. It was really hard to pass, and he was kind of chopping me defending, which is fine. It's just, it's part of it. But yeah, when we took those tires too, I really thought that I was in trouble because we had all those guys stay out, and they got shoved in the wall, and I thought I was done when I hit the fence, because I know that the right front on these things are really fragile in the simulator. So yeah, honestly, it was a pretty smooth race, just a quiet race, to be honest. So hopefully we can carry this momentum in the next week.
Yeah, you mentioned there that battle with Braxton DeWeese. Talk to me about that. I mean, you guys are just so evenly matched. I made the comparison coming to the final green flag that it reminded me of Pearson and Petty or Senna Prost. You've got these guys that are just destined to drive around each other and never give each other an inch. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about racing Braxton DeWeese and how you feel about sharing the track with a competitor who can really keep you honest in this league.
Yeah, I just gotta, race with respect. Get me racing with this guy the entire year and whatnot. So, you just gotta show him respect, and I know that he's gonna show respect to me back. So, we're gonna race really hard, and might make some contact here and there, but we're just gonna be racing. We're racing for wins and a championship. It's the ultimate goal, right? So, at the end of the season, whoever's on top, that one or the other definitely deserves it, and Braxton overall is a good guy. I like him. So hopefully we can beat him, but that's gonna be a really tall order. So,
well, like I said, you guys certainly know how to do the battles. We greatly appreciate you guys giving us a show to watch every week. Last question: who gets it done for you? Anybody, any sponsors you want to shout out? People, friends, family, loved ones, pets. Who gets it done for you?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for putting this on our Camp 7 Shop for all the open side stuff. Torzak Race on Facebook, Hot Shot Photography for the best iRacing photos. Everybody's watching back at home. Corey Buddy Raps, Matthew Designs for the real life stuff. Misfit Productions for the real life stuff. And overall, I don't think I'm missing anyone else. Oh, big shout out to Ryan Kuhn. I saw that he won a big race tonight, so congrats to him.
Well, thank you very much for being here, Kyle. Look forward to watching your guys' battles the rest of this season. Best of luck to you, and once again, congratulations on a well-earned win.
Thank you, family.
Thank you. One last thing, guys. Want to shout out the winner of our card giveaway. That's going to be Mercenary in the chat. Mercenary, if you're still around, you won the pack of cards for tonight. Send us an email to ssracingleagues@gmail.com to get those shipped out to you. Thank you very much for being here tonight, participating in the chat. Glad to have you guys here.
As Johnny would call them, the custom trading card pack.
Yeah, that custom trading card pack. But I'll tell you what, yeah, congrats to you for that. They're definitely a cool little thing, and a good thanks to everybody that kind of watches and tunes in, gets in the chat and everything. We appreciate it. It's one of our ways of giving back. But now that we heard from the top three, we're going to run down the entire field here. We just heard from Kyle Terzak, Braxton DeWeese, and Chris French. Benson Weaver coming home 4th place in that number 1 machine, Seahawks machine. And yeah, Dylan Potts, after leading some laps early here, able to hold on to a top 5.
Randy Gross finishes 6th, followed by James Danforth in the 88 machine. Garrett Lane, after an eventful night, brings it home 8th. Same can be said for Ryan Bittler in the 9, bringing it home 9th for the 9 machine. Martin Piccatelli with a top 10 run tonight rounds out your top 10.
Yeah, Jacob Phillips, last week's winner, is going to finish home 11th tonight. Not what he wanted. Angel Ortega going to be rolling off 12th. Robert Probst, 13th. And Chase Berry, who's probably in every single incident tonight, rounds off 14th. Mason Wilson will bring it home 15th, with Patrick O'Toole 16th. And Blaze Richardson, first race of the season for Blaze, didn't quite have the race he wanted, but going to be 17th. And 18th, believe it or not, 18 cars finished on the lead lap, and 18th would be Devin Jack. Ryan Hinkle finished 7 laps down. Night ended early, as well as Brian Probst, who finished last tonight, 31 laps down.
Yeah, great race tonight.
Yeah, incredible race all the way through. And just bear with me while we do this, because it may not work. So we're going to go back into here and see if we can pull up our point standings. And yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
Man,
look at
how
that.
fancy was that? But yes, with that that second place finish tonight, Braxton is going to move himself up into the points lead. Chris French just 3 points behind, and Jacob Phillips only 6 points behind. And man, I'll tell you what, this is going to be something to watch all season long. It's going to come right down to the wire, I know.
Yeah, in terms like jumps like 12 positions in points and up to 4th place now, just from that win alone.
Yeah, what a night for Kyle Tursak. That's exactly what he needed after last week's heartbreak for him. Still in top 5 in the points for Robert Probst after his misfortune. Great runs by a lot of guys tonight, and look at this points battle that we're going to be treated to. I have a feeling that gap for the lead is going to continue to stay single digits for a long time, guys, with Kyle Tursak and Braxton DeWeese. If they can keep up battles like that, we're going to go down to the wire, and it's going to be just so fun for all of us to watch.
It absolutely is. And yeah, if you like what you saw tonight, next week we're going to be heading to South Boston, followed by Lucas Oil, and then New Smyrna and Langley. And yeah, the 10 race season is just ramping up. We're really getting into the meat and potatoes of the season. And yeah, some of these tracks, the iconic South Boston, I mean, we've ran there so many times. It's such a tight but technical kind of short track, and sure to put on a great show.
Yeah, it always does. South Boston's just a great racing facility. I can't wait to be back next week. I can't wait to see who comes ahead between Tursak and DeWeese. This is just such a fun series to watch, such a fun series to call, and honestly, I think we're going to be treated to a great battle all the way through.
I think you're right. And yeah, if you like that, we also have Wednesday nights with the Slingshot Grand National Series. That's going to be at Las Vegas this week. Ryan Rose took home the win there at Daytona, and definitely a strong contender. He also won the Clash. We're going to see if he's able to do the 3P and go to Las Vegas as a winner. We have New Hampshire, Richmond Auto Club, Coda, Talladega, Rockingham, Bristol, and Chicagoland. That's going to be a great season. Catch that on Wednesday nights at 8:30 Eastern.
Yes, sir. I will be joining the boys in the booth next Wednesday, subbing in this week. Look forward to seeing all of you guys back there in another great SRL Series race.
Absolutely. And then there's one more we have to talk about, and it is the NSRLA Downtown Auto Sales Series, National Series. And yeah, I believe they went to Milwaukee last week, right? So I guess is it no, I got this all messed up.
Darlington?
Yeah, it looks like Darlington.
I'm saying Darlington.
It's going to be next. Man, Darlington and the Xfinity cars. That's going to be a wild show, so make sure you tune into that one. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. We'll have Ellis, Cam, and Chris in the booth for that one. And yeah, just a handful of races left in their series as well. Definitely appreciate them choosing Slingshot TV as their broadcast partner. I think that's just about going to do it. Any final thoughts from you two here tonight? We saw an incredible race, and not much more you could ask for.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down there and see if I can find any extra car parts that are laying on the track. Take them home.
Yeah, seriously, we're gonna make a killing at the scrapyard down the street if we get our hands down there quick. But I think we need to get moving fast.
I need the drivers to autograph them so we can sell them.
Yeah. Crazy racing up and down the field. Once again, 2 weeks in a row, it's DeWeese and Terzak. And what more can you say other than, wow, those guys are good. It's going to be fun to watch. We appreciate everyone joining us, appreciate everyone watching, and we can't wait to see you again next week.
Absolutely. Yeah, so for James Moore, Justin Wilson in the Slingshot TV booth, this is Johnny Rapp, and we will see you at South Boston.